This is TWiT.
I was reading Brian Krebs. Krebs on Security does a great security blog. On Friday, he tweeted, "Stand by, massive breach news," and he broke the story of First American Title. Now, I don't know if you've ever bought a house, but if you have, chances are pretty good that the title company, the company that kind of does the title insurance, maybe the escrow, was First American Title. They are, I think, one of the biggest, if not the biggest. They're a Fortune 500 company. They have 18,000 employees. Their revenue, $5.7 billion last year, so it's a big company. They had a little feature on their website. I think a lot of companies have, actually. I know, a lot of sites, when you go to your account, it's got a site name, firstamerican.com/?equals, and then there's a long number, your account number. And one of the favorite things hackers like to do is decrement or increment that, right? Well,
up by one, down by two.
If I am 734944572, let's try 73. Turns out you could in fact do this with the links that you were sent with your title information. This would be your home application, including your social security number, your credit history, your driver's license image, your home address, your email, your birth date, any possible kinds of information, the kind of information you give a title company when you buy a home. And by the way, not just the buyer, the seller. And it turns out that record, you could decrement and decrement all the way down. Brian went down to 0000075, which was a title record from 2003. And then incremented all the way up. And that's where he gets the number 880,000 records. I mean, the worst breach since Yahoo.
Yeah.
And, of course...
OPM was pretty bad.
OPM also. But that one went to the Chinese, right? So they never put it on the dark web. So, hey, you're pretty secure. It's just the U.S. government and the Chinese government.
And,
it's pretty safe. We don't know who, if anybody, accessed this information because it's been there since 2003.
Yeah. I think odds are pretty good.
Yeah, because it's a common ploy, a common technique.
Yeah.
It started, the really sad story, as soon as Brian called them, they turned it off. So it's fixed. But the sad story is that a developer named Ben Chauvel found it, and he said he tried to get a hold of First American. They just blew him off. So he ended up calling Brian, and Brian has a little more clout and was able to get them to pull it down. Yeah. But that's about as bad as you can get. 885 million plus
Well,
documents.
it also includes things like routing numbers, bank
I
account
didn't even think of
numbers.
that, but you're right. It would include bank information.
Tax information. It's all out there. I mean, I've long said this. I don't think the free market can solve privacy because neither the buyer nor the seller wants to pay for it. So, in a situation like this, I don't know why they shouldn't face lawsuits for this. This is so unbelievably egregious. And how this could go on this long without anyone, code auditing the system or taking a serious look at it. And the thing that really gets me about this story, Leo, is... if you look at their Twitter account, they're radio silent on it, or at least they were the last time I checked it. And, it's just, if you're going to put everyone else's information at risk with this, they're just keeping their head down and waiting for it to blow over.
They also might simply be so completely gobsmacked. It's interesting, right? Because, one of the other big stories this week, of course, the attack on Baltimore.
Right.
Baltimore's been shut down for like 3 weeks and climbing.
Yep.
From a ransomware attack, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yep.
But half of what's going on right now, when a lot of these attacks come out, is the first thing they have to do is figure out if anything's been leaked. Can they trace it? Can they find information that has been out there? They circle the lawyers, and this is,
you could look at your web logs if you had them going back and see when those pages were accessed, and how many times they were accessed, and if they were accessed a long time after the transaction, that kind of thing. That would be a giveaway.
Right.
You know, assuming the crack team that put together the website also kept on
logs.
top of their logs. And I apologize if anyone out there is part of that crack team.
Oh, no,
but-
no.
but
The CEO of First America was paid $8 million last year. He could take the hit.
competency and taking care of your customers has nothing to do with executive compensation. Let's get that straight right now.
I love the statement released by First American. You might sound familiar. At First American, security, privacy, and confidentiality are of the highest priority.
Unless we have to do anything.
We are committed to protecting our customers' information.
As long as it doesn't cost anything.
We will have no further comment until our internal review is completed.
Because our lawyers are freaking the delete expletive out.
Your information is important to us. Please hang on.
We can't make the $5.7 billion a year we make if you don't continue to give us staggering amounts of information. They also could be trying to figure out, you know, can they fix it? What else is wrong? They probably have pen testing teams in there screaming through everything they can.
Right.
Because now that the horse is out, they should probably rebuild the fence in the barn.
This was not the sad thing is really, I mean, maybe they were also penetrated, but this didn't require a spear phishing attack, an advanced persistent threat. Just a web browser pretty much is all you need.
So, I mean, what I think is so important about this is as I've started running for office,
Liability, please.
Liability, absolutely. We need liability laws on this. But I've talked to so many people that work on the InfoSec teams at these large corporations, and they've talked to me about why these disasters happen. It's typically not because the people in charge of the security architecture are inept or they don't care. The truth is they're not supported by upper management.
So they'll go to management and say, we got a problem.
Correct. And they get blown off and they don't have the resources. This is why I feel it's so critical that we up the legal liability there. When it's more expensive to do this wrong than it is to do it right, that's when you'll see them take this seriously.
It all comes down to the bottom line.
Of course it does.
Although putting a password on each of those pages wouldn't have been that hard.
No, it wouldn't have.
I think the code monkey could have done that in a day.